Hello, and welcome to this segment of Be Well, Be Whole. On Be Well, Be Whole, we talk about issues of well being for the whole person mind, body, soul, and spirit. We talk about issues of the community, the environment, and socio-political systems. This work, these conversations are not always easy.
Yeah.
This work that we endeavor to do, this Be Well, Be Whole project, is an outgrowth of the pandemic, quite honestly. And over the past year, we've had many experiences that demonstrate just how important and relevant this work is. Now, in our call to facilitate health and well-being for all people, we denounce anything that threatens the lives of people. We do not support death-dealing practices of any kind.
And so on this occasion, when we are honoring the lives of people killed, six of them women of Asian origin on the streets of Atlanta, we honor those lives, and we do lament and denounce any cultural, religious, faith orientation that is comfortable with or can coexist or else in fact induce or motivate enslaving people,
Right.
or killing or murdering or lynching or abusing, denigrating or disrespecting people. We lament the comfortable coexistence of society, of culture, of religion
Right,
with
the systems that perpetuate these things.
right. And that's, it seems to me, is the broader underlying picture, the socio-cultural underpinnings of all of these acts, these heinous acts against people. People, especially people of races or cultures or origins that are different from those who would perpetrate such acts of destruction.
Right.
And so we in the interest of health, in the interest of wellness and health, which is what we are looking for in these times, I do think that there is a place for recognizing unhealth, for recognizing that which is not wholesome. So if my religious practice is comfortable with destruction, then it's unhealthy. I need to do something about that. It's not promoting health. I am myself sick.
Mm-hmm.
if I participate easily in cultural and religious activities and practices that are comfortable with the destruction of life, or that can coexist easily with the destruction of life. There is no pursuit of health and wholeness which can sit easily with anything that leads to the denigration or to the destruction or to the disregard
Yeah.
of the lives of any other people.
Mm-hmm.
For underneath it all, we are all human. We are all people. You know, I am you and you are me. We are connected by our community. We are connected by our life together. So any act that destroys the life of another is an act against each of us.
And it is not of God.
It is not of God. It is not of God. It is not of God. And would that our whole community would seek life
Seek life.
and would actively work against those things that are death dealing, those things that are destructive, that manifest themselves all around us day by day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been, we were talking about the health disparities that the pandemic exposed. You know, we that is a system, right? That is death dealing.
Right.
You know, we've been speaking about the vaccine hesitancy. You see, that is related to some of these structures and these systems. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in our quest for health, we've got to challenge all of those. We've got to work against all of those kinds of things.
Which also involves the deep uh, painful work of questioning our faith communities,
Mhm.
challenging and
Right.
taking an honest look of how we appropriate texts, how
Yes.
what are we teaching in our faith communities? Are we teaching or are we facilitating health? Or are we participating in death dealing practices? I remember the sermon you preached, "Have you got good religion?"
Mm,
These are these are the foundations of what it means to have good religion. What are we teaching?
mm, 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 mm,
How are we talking about marginalized communities and oppressed people?
mm, mm,
Are we holding one another, or are we pushing certain ones further outside outside of the community, outside of what we purport to be the norm or
mhm.
mainstream? Yeah.
And in our quest for individual purity, are we prepared to destroy,
Mm-hmm.
to eliminate, to to kill if needed, in quest of preserving our purported or so-called purity? what are we teaching? That is really, really an important question. What are we making people feel guilt about, and
Mhm.
such guilt about that it makes them want to do anything and everything, even destroy other lives in quest of the thing that we have defined as personal purity.
Right, right. Are we building communities of acceptance or denigration?
Right, right, right. All of these questions, I think, are thrown up by the the almost daily assaults on the lives, especially of people of color in this culture.
Right.
Yeah.
So, um, rather than end there, um, which we could, but I have a poem here that I would like to offer. The name of this poem is Wonder Woman by Genny Lim. Genny Lim is an Asian American poet, playwright, and performer from San Francisco. And this poem is published in this bridge called My Back, Writings by Radical Women of Color. Sometimes I see reflections on bits of glass on sidewalks. I catch the glimmer of empty bottles floating out to sea. Sometimes I stretch my arms way above my head and wonder if there are women along the Mekong doing the same. Sometimes I stare longingly at women who I will never know. Generous, laughing women with wrinkled cheeks and white teeth, dragging along chubby, rosy cheeked babies on fat, wobbly legs. Sometimes I stare at Chinese grandmothers getting on the 30 Stockton with shopping bags, Japanese women tourists in European hats, middle aged mothers with laundry carts, young wives holding hands with their husbands, lesbian women holding hands in coffee houses, smiling debutantes with bouquets of yellow daffodils, silver haired matrons with silver rhinestoned poodles, painted prostitutes posing along MacArthur Boulevard, giddy teenage girls snapping gum in fast cars, widows clutching Bibles, crucifixes. I look at them and wonder if they are a part of me. I look in their eyes and wonder if they share my dreams. I wonder if the woman in mink is content, if the stockbroker's wife is afraid of growing old, if the professor's wife is an alcoholic, if the woman in prison is me. There are copper tanned women in Hyannis Port playing tennis, women who eat with finger bowls. There are women in factories punching clocks, women tired of every waking hour of the day. I wonder why there are women born with silver spoons in their mouths, women who have never known a day of hunger, women who have never changed their own bed linen. And I wonder why there are women who must work, women who must clean other women's houses, women who must shell shrimps for pennies a day, women who must sew other women's clothes, who must cook, who must die in childbirth, in dreams. Why must woman stand divided? building the walls that tear them down. Jill of all trades, lover, mother, housewife, friend, breadwinner, heart, and spade. A woman is a ritual, a house that must accommodate, a house that must endure generation after generation of wind and torment, of fire and rain, a house with echoing rooms, closets with hidden cries, walls with stretch marks, windows with eyes. Short, tall, skinny, fat, pregnant, married, white, yellow, black, brown, red, professional, working class, aristocrat, women cooking over coals and sampans, women shining Tiffany spoons in glass houses, women stretching their arms way above the clouds, and Samarkand in San Francisco along the Mekong. And I will add on the streets of Atlanta. In the meantime, friends, try to be well.
Be whole.
Be whole.